Lagers, Pilsners, India Pale Ales, double IPAs, Doppelbocks, Belgian Goldens. That's right, it's all here on another round of Brewsday Tuesday. Here's DreZ and Big Nate.
Mine's just a lager. Was yours?
This is also it's a premium lager.
Premium. Sorry,
well, yours is super premium.
Super premium over here, ladies and gentlemen. I just popped Cristal. It's some Cristal, right? Cristal.
I think that's Kestrel. It's a
Kestrel.
bird.
Oh, there is a bird on there as the logo. It's a super premium lager born in Scotland. 9% on this bad boy. I'll read the little synopsis on the side. Born in Scotland and crafted using the Holy Brewing method. Kestrel? What we said?
Kestrel.
Kestrel. Super premium lager, a full-bodied and intense brew made using careful selected hops, crushed malt, and a natural source of water. Flavorsome and full of character. Swirls of malt, fruit richness, and toffee can be noted in this award-winning beer. 9%, baby.
Toffee's a new one.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Yeah, I guess.
I can't remember the last time I had
toffee. You never had a good toffee lager?
I've not. I cannot say that I have. I've got the Crest Premium Lager. Well, I'm sorry. Premium Lager Crest Super. So there's super in this one as well. 10% ABV. I don't have a synopsis, but it does claim to be brewed with the best quality barley malt and the finest German aroma hops. And
is it German?
I've got a no. Yes. No, it's Danish. That's Denmark. Yeah, it's Danish.
Danish. All right. And we're done on Brewsday too. Thank you, sir.
Let's go ahead and untap these.
No, well, I do. I have to. If you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, you may have noticed, like I have, that Big Nate is wearing nail polish. Now, I don't know if there's a real, I'm guessing there's probably not much more of a story than your daughter wanted to paint your nails, but maybe there is.
No, I mean, that is exactly what happened, but she painted my toenails as well. And those are beige. They're not like sparkly glittery.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, you couldn't have gone with something more discreet on my fingers. What the hell are we doing here? But that's become her new thing. So she cooks dinner with me, and then we finish cooking dinner, and we'll usually
and then you get a mani-pedi.
And then the other night was I want to paint my nails. I was like, son of a bitch. Took forever for the last time I got, and I would feel guilty like if I just went and cleaned it off afterwards. So like I kind of have to let it linger for
at least a day or two.
Like I definitely wash my hands aggressively, like in the hopes that it's just gonna go away,
start to wear off. But all right, well that's a nice fatherly thing. So, is she good at it though, or is it like all over on your actual finger and stuff? She's good at staying inside the lines.
She's really good.
Cuticles.
That's her big thing is arts and crafts. Like where with Harper, it's music. Evie's all about arts and crafts. Like anything she can do that's like making something. So she's getting pretty good at it.
Nice, very nice, very nice. So I guess getting back to Bermuda, I was while that song was playing, I texted BB because I'm like, what the hell else do we do? It seriously has been at this point, I think over a month, and I'm struggling to remember what all we did. I do remember
no snorkeling.
No snorkeling, no bathing suits. That we were able to do that with. We did play pickleball outdoors after the wedding. The morning after the wedding, I was pretty hungover, so she likes playing pickleball against me when I'm hungover, because that's usually when she can beat me. But so we did that, and I do remember we went to a couple shops. We went to another restaurant. I think we were just kind of killing time a lot because basically, well, she actually was working in the mornings remotely as I was twiddling my thumbs / going over to the convenience store. And otherwise, I think we were just kind of killing time walking around. We tried to go to some, I don't even know what it was, like a castle or a fort or something that was, of course, closed after we had walked all the way there. But I was like, okay, well, we killed time there. Oh, we kind of walked to and went to a lot of her favorite sort of spots. Like she was like, oh, I used to always go to this park every morning. And there was like this little cave down there that we went and checked out. And what else did we do? We went out to another dinner with her friends, an Italian joint, got some pizza. That was good.
I,
But yeah, I mean, it was a nice chill visit, you know?
I feel like Bermuda is very like culturally diverse.
Yeah, I'd say so. Because there's the Bermudians, which is kind of weird in itself because it's like an island that was uninhibited. So you got a little bit of everybody that's just been there for a long time. And I guess they're Bermudian. And I think even if you've been there, you have kids, then I guess I don't know. I don't know how it works, but there's many different cultures because it's just sort of, it's a lot of expats as they call, like people coming
Yeah.
in to work because there's benefits to, I know that a lot of people think Bermuda is one of those places where it's like, oh, that's where you want to have offshore accounts and stuff. And it's not anything sketchy that I've come to realize. It's basically just that they make it very
Yeah. They want your business
like
there.
beneficial. Like there's no tax and stuff. Like that's come work here. We'll make it very lucrative beneficially for you. You bring in some money to help the economy and whatnot. And obviously tourism is a big part of it. We didn't go to that side of the island where there's, all the cruise ships and whatnot. I think it's like Dockyard, I think is that area of Bermuda. But that was cool. We just went on like a lot of walks. We didn't have a car, so we just sort of walked a lot.
I mean, do you really need a car in Bermuda?
If you want to get to where you want to go faster, Dan
On the
was
sketchy
Dan,
roads.
Dan was kind enough to offer us his scooter, which I was like, we could do it at the same time. I used to have a motorcycle. I've never ridden a motorcycle with someone on the back. Now, BB used to have a scooter and used to live in Bermuda. She was used to, because the thing is you don't know about the roads and the way people drive and the scooters just weaving it, like going around, like that's just very not how it is here in America,
Yeah.
So it makes me a little nervous, especially because BB wanted me to drive the scooter, even though not only does she have more experience, she actually still has her Bermuda driver's license. So legally, I wouldn't be allowed to do it, but she could. So I was not super keen on that idea. And, I guess it's healthier to walk and stuff anyways. So, and it wasn't like it was actually really nice weather. It wasn't too hot. I've definitely been there where you're just sweating your balls off, but it was sunny and I'd say like upper 60s, lower 70s every day, which was just perfect in my book.
What's their public transit like?
A good question. So we did take the bus out, like just far out to get to the farthest point on that railway line to walk back. But otherwise, yeah, that's what I was saying was, couldn't we, just take the bus or whatever? Obviously, there's taxis. Here's the weird thing about Bermuda. They don't have Lyft. They don't have Uber. They don't have really any outside chains. There's a KFC, and I think maybe the one remaining Sears in the entire world. I don't even think there's Sears anywhere else, but there's still those. I think those are the only two chains in Bermuda. Now, I did see a DHL truck, which I was like, oh, well, that's kind of a chain, but it's not what you think about. Like, oh,
DHL though they specialize in international shipping. Like that was their whole. So that's probably why
it's a little different. But I guess that's still a thing that you can see elsewhere. But everything else, which is really cool about it, man, everything else is just its own thing. There might be. It might be somewhat of a chain on the island. Like there might be 3 or 4 locations of this or whatever. Like the markets, I think there's kind of like Bermuda chain markets, but there's, you don't get a Kroger. You're not going to, I don't know, an Applebee's or like I said, KFC. They're apparently on the army base. There used to be a McDonald's. And I think they used to also open it to the public on like one day of the week. And there would just be like a crazy line for it. Yeah. But I don't even think that's there anymore. So they don't have any Ubers or anything like that. I think they do have their own version, like a Bermudan version of that. but we didn't. No sense downloading an app and set up an account for all that. We'll just call a taxi.
If there was only one chain that I needed in my life, it would be McDonald's.
Yeah,
That's for me comfort food.
that's BB's go-to as
I
well.
love McDonald's.
There's something about it.
But that's one of those, you mentioned that like the scooter and crazy drivers. My biggest goal in life, and it's probably one I'm never going to realize, but is to live somewhere where I can just be completely pedestrian. And I think the reason I feel that way is because of Seattle. Like they have the craziest public transit system I've ever dealt with. It's so absolutely
Too
efficient. It's absolutely efficient. Like we went there on our honeymoon. We also went to Anaheim and Los Angeles on our honeymoon. And the public transit in Seattle is just so absolutely like you're never waiting longer than like 10 minutes for a train. Their train system's fantastic. Their buses are good. We didn't really ride many buses because the train was the way to go. But like ever since then, it's just been like a fantasy of mine
not have
to drive anywhere because
Well,
I do all of the driving.
Yeah. Well, I do like driving, but you're right. It would be nice to not have to worry about that. Like, I guess most people in New York City don't have a car and stuff.
Yeah.
You just rely on public transport. The thing is, you're not going to get that around here. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure the Radford, what do they call it? I don't even know what it's called.
City
The
buses?
bus. Yeah. I know that Blacksburg, it's the BT. I don't know what it is here.
No, and that's a sacrifice I've made for living here because I do love living in Radford, but public transit could be better.
So I just realized something, and this was not intentional at all as I pour the second of my 4-ounce tasting of my Scottish premium lager, born in Scotland. So my beer's from Scotland. Yours was from where again?
Denmark.
What are the odds? I did not plan this, but I am planning a trip.
Yeah?
In a couple months, I will be going to Scotland, and we're going to pop over to Denmark.
Well, I mean, they're right there.
They are right there. I've never been to Denmark. Been to Scotland a couple times, but Denmark will be a new one for me, which should be pretty damn cool. So that'll be fun. I think as of now, we're not planning to check a bag, unfortunately. So I'm not going to be bringing back a bunch of awesome Scottish and Denmark beers, which, by the way, last time we were in, I guess it was Berlin. And remember, we went to, what's that? That Danish. Oh, it's on the wall. Mikkeller. We went to Mikkeller. That is Danish. And I've already been looking. This is what made me think of it was you were talking about public transport. We're going to have to maybe figure out the Copenhagen public transport to get out to Mikkeller because it's it's not walking distance from where we're going to be staying. But hopefully we can, I'm pretty sure there is at least an offshoot bar, but again, I guess I wouldn't really be able to bring anything back anyways. So
we'll forgive you. You're doing the Lord's work with all the travel.
Yeah. The Lord's work.
Sing the world.
You're right. It is the Lord's work. I'm doing the word.
You are 105.3, the Bears' #1 ambassador to the world.
Ain't that the truth? All right, man. How's your Danish bad boy? What was it? 10%? 10%.
It's good. I mean, it's nothing to write home about, but for it being a lager, it lines up with other lagers I've had. It's about, if we're gonna untap it, I'd give it about a 3.75. I wouldn't seek it out, but it's definitely drinkable.
BB finally got back to me. She said, "Run." We did a run. Thank you. Thank you for my now. Indian food caves. Yes, I've covered all this. Okay.
Her notes aligned with your notes.
Yeah, she's clearly not listening. I mentioned all of these things. Oh, I guess I didn't mention the run, but I'm kind of with you. The lager, to me, this is better than the last round.
Yeah.
I think a lager is a better beer to just have a higher ABV. For some reason, this just tastes a little better to me. And again, I know the lager is one of your least favorite styles. It's never a big fan of mine. I'm not a big fan of it either. But when it comes to the European lagers, that's just sort of the standard. So that's what they do well. And the fact that this is not only a Scottish lager, but it's a super premium one, 9%. This one's hitting the spot. This is the best of the bunch, in my opinion. I'll try yours, but I'm going to give this one. You said that was a 3.75?
Yeah.
I'm going to say that this one, actually, it's probably equal. It's probably about 3.75. I was going to give it a 4, but it's probably not 4 worthy.
That's
really.
the ABV talking.
It is. It really is. I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling it. Speaking of ABV, now I don't have, if something pops up, great. But otherwise, I think next week's show is going to be trumping these ABVs. If you thought 8 and 9 and 10 was something to ride home about, you're going to need, we talked about how Bermuda doesn't have Uber.
We're gonna
and
need some
stuff.
public
Yeah, you
transit.
might need some public transport on the way home next Tuesday. But again, that might vary. But as of now, I think we're going to be drinking some beer that's aged a while. If you can read between the lines.
All right.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. All right. Well, that's a wrap on Brewsday Tuesday. Next week, like I said, we'll be drinking some more beer because that's what we do here on Tuesdays. And until then, this is DreZ signing off. JT's up next.
See ya.
I don't even know what to say. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll say that. See you.